Welcome back, vlog. Another week on the cardiac anesthesia rotation. It's like 4:30 in the morning. As you can see, it's dark out here. That's because I am still on the cardiac anesthesia rotation. We are starting off our day with a CABG, so a coronary artery bypass graft. One of the hallmark cases for cardiac anesthesia. Essentially, there are occlusions in the vessels that supply blood to the heart, and one of the ways that you can get around those occlusions is by grafting vessels around them so that blood flows past those blocks. Big cases that require big setup, which is why I'm here so early. We'll talk more about it in a little bit, but I need to go set up. It's so empty and quiet in the hospital at this time. As you guys can see from the lack of backpacks there, I'm the first resident here, which is pretty typical when you're on the cardiac block. Let's get to the OR.
And I don't know, I feel like, because they don't do it anymore, right? Isn't that?
I think they got rid of it, yeah. Like showing people the kind of things we set up and what it looks like. Okay, so one of the things that's always bugged me about my vlogs is I can't actually show you guys what happens when I disappear into the operating room for hours on end, because obviously I can't film in the OR. So I figured, what if I just draw these little photos and try to show you guys what we do here in the hospital. So welcome to the first ever story time with Shaun. Like I said, today we are doing a coronary artery bypass graft. People call it a CABG for short, but it's obviously not the same as the vegetable CABG. Essentially what's happening is the little vessels feeding the heart get clogged, so the surgeon builds a detour around the blockage. But you can't just sew onto a beating blood-filled heart, so we actually borrow a heart-lung machine, which is the cardiopulmonary bypass. This thing literally does the job of the heart and lungs and keeps the body alive while the heart is resting. And you have a specialist called a perfusionist who is running the bypass machine. So order of events, I'm anesthesia, of course, at the head of the bed. We get the patient off to the room, put in some lines, get them to sleep. Then we put in even more lines, even a camera into their esophagus to look at their heart from behind. This is called a transesophageal echocardiogram. Then the surgery team opens the chest literally all the way down to the breastbone. This is actually called a sternotomy. It's kind of like unzipping the chest. Meanwhile, someone else is harvesting the conduit, which is the detour vessel, usually from a vein in the leg. And before we even touch the bypass machine, we give the patient heparin, which is a blood thinner, because blood clots the second it hits the tubing. Then we get to the cannulation phase. Tubes go in, one to the aorta, one to drain the blood. We go on bypass, and the machine takes over. And a cold solution called cardioplegia actually stops the heart. And this is on purpose, because you want the heart still and quiet. Because again, there's not really any blood going through the heart right now, and you also want it to be still when you're sewing it back together. The surgery team sews the detour around the blockage, reconnecting blood flow to the starved muscles. When the grafts are done, we rewarm the patient, the clamp comes off, and the heart, most of the time, just starts beating again on its own. It's so satisfying to see the heart literally come back to life. We wean off bypass, take the tubes out, reverse the blood thinner with protamine, close the chest, the new detour is built, blood is flowing where it wasn't, and that's what I'm doing in the hours that you don't see. Literally keeping you alive while we also stop your heart. It really does not get old. And that's it for the first ever story time with Shaun. I hope you guys enjoyed. Alright guys, I just got home from the hospital. It's been a long day, and honestly, I am just not in the mood to cook anything. I think a lot of people believe that eating well in residency is a willpower issue. Like, you just gotta try harder, be more disciplined, and meal prep on Sundays. Once you do an 80-hour work week, work some call shifts, you realize it's not a willpower problem. There just literally isn't enough of you to go around. You got patients, studying, exercise, and hopefully sleep to worry about. Something always ends up giving, and for me, it tends to be food. At least that was until I found Factor. But once again, Factor is actually sponsoring this week's vlog. Now, you guys have heard me talk about Factor many times in the past. Factor sends you chef-crafted, ready-to-eat meals straight to your door. They're already made, you just have to heat one up. No planning, no prep, and no cleanup. And again, it's not cooking that's hard. It's just the fact that after a long day, you don't want to keep making more decisions. My Factor box was pretty awesome this week. Factor has real ingredients, balanced macros, and at least 2 vegetables
vegetables in every meal. They're always fresh, never frozen. Like I've said in the past, my favorite Factor meals tend to be the ones with steak in them. Tonight I'll be having the grilled filet mignon and creamy Parmesan shrimp. But whatever you're into, Factor has tons and tons of options, and there's literally over 70 add-ons. You can even get yourself some juice, peanut butter bites, whatever you're in the mood for. 92% of people that use Factor say that it decreases stress in their life, which as a resident, I will always take anything that will decrease my stress. So I use Factor, and you should too, especially if you have enough on your plate already. So make sure to check out Factor by heading to factor75.com or by going to the link in the description. And you can use my code AndersonFB50 for 50% off of your first box and free breakfast for a year. Again, that's AndersonFB50 at factor75.com for 50% off and free breakfast for a year. This offer is only valid for new Factor members and qualifying auto renewal subscription purchases. Again, make sure to check out Factor, and thank you so much again to Factor for sponsoring this week's vlog.
All right, guys, I just got done with another day in the cardiac OR. I want to share some updates with you guys if you've made it this far in the vlog. So first and foremost, I now have a website. I've actually owned my website for like a year and a half now, but I've never actually done anything with it. But now you can actually go to ShaunAndersen.com, and there's a bunch of stuff on there just about me. But what's also on there that I really want you guys to go to right now is a little sign up link for my newsletter. I'm going to be launching a newsletter pretty soon. It's called Vitals. Essentially, it's meant to be Vitals, your weekly check-in. So it's going to be a newsletter that I use to pretty much be able to interact with you guys more and share more with you guys outside of the scope of video formatted social media. It's kind of multi-purpose for me because one, I do really enjoy making these videos. I really do. But essentially the only way that I can really share my thoughts, interests, and everything with you guys is if I make these videos, if I make these vlogs, versus a newsletter is a way that I can kind of not only communicate with you guys and show you guys things, but also maybe also branch out into some things I can't really show in the vlogs, like, you know, other cool things that are happening in the world that I think you guys in particular would find interesting, some motivational things that I like, you know, medical myths, all that kind of stuff. I won't go into the whole format of the newsletter right now just because I'm still finalizing the details, and obviously it's going to evolve over time, but my new newsletter, Vitals, will be launching soon, and so you can sign up and join the email list completely free, of course, on my website, ShaunAndersen.com. Oh, and if you guys sign up for the newsletter, you will be entered into the 100K subscriber giveaway, which I am still figuring out what we're going to do for that, but there will be some sort of giveaway to celebrate and to show you guys that I appreciate you guys. So that'll be at some point, but yeah, sign up for my newsletter, Vitals, and yeah, I'm excited to share that with you. Another thing, if you sign up for my newsletter, then you will be one of the first people to hear about my new app that I will be launching relatively soon. It's something I've been working on for a bit, and beta testing and everything, and beta testing is kind of finishing up. And I think over the next month or so, the app will be fully ready for launch. So I'm really excited about that. And the best way to stay tuned and be one of the first people that gets to sign up for the app will be through signing up for the newsletter, because then you'll be part of the email list. I'm not going to tell you what the app's about yet, but it should be a very useful tool for people. And I'm really excited to share the app with you guys when it's ready. But that's actually different from the side project that I told you guys about a few months ago that I was starting. That particular side project had to take a couple steps back, so I'll keep you guys updated on that. But that's something, you know, again, that if you guys go to my website, you know, keep an eye on it, but also sign up for my newsletter, you'll be like the first to hear about it. Then of course, you know, the videos as well. But anyway, I just think it'll be a really cool way to kind of stay in touch with you guys besides just YouTube, because as much as I like this, you know, and I'm going to keep obviously making content for a while, you just never know what's going to happen, right? I just feel like nothing is ever guaranteed and certain, and eventually, you know, things will come and go. And regardless what happens, by having another way of being able to be in touch with you all and connected to you all, I'll be able to at least carry that forward to wherever life goes. Speaking of new things, you guys probably noticed a little story time with Shaun in this vlog. Let me know what you guys think about that. It was an idea I had earlier this week when I kind of was like a little irritated about how I can't really like show you guys these things. And you know, there's so many times in these vlogs where I literally have to like just explain things and just talk to you about it, like parry the event, right? Like before and after, just explaining things. And I kind of saw this little cute video on YouTube the other day that explains some topic not related to medicine or anything, but just something about like history. And the cartoons were these really cute little cartoons that were like basically stick figures. And I was like, wow, that's like really cute. This was kind of like a fun way to watch. Like it was so simple. And that gave me the idea to start maybe little story times with some little stick figures. And of course it's a low budget thing, you know, I'm just trying to get, you know, enough pictures to kind of get the point across. But let me know what you guys thought about it, and if that's something we should do in every vlog where I can explain different things and also kind of breaks up a little bit of the monotony of the vlogs and me doing a bunch of what I'm doing right now, which is just talking at you guys. So website, newsletter, app coming soon, other secret side project coming eventually, and story time with Shaun. A lot of new things. I would really love all your guys' thoughts on all of it. I've been feeling very creatively inspired recently. I don't know what it is. I've really just been enjoying working on like myself and my brand, quote unquote, and just the way that I can interact with you guys and the internet and express myself a little bit more. So yeah, I don't know. Just a little excited, feel a little more whimsical lately, so trying to ride on that energy. Going back to talking about cardiac anesthesia, I'm now finishing up my 4th week of cardiac anesthesia. That's month 1 done out of 2 months, which not bad. Definitely a lot of work. Early mornings, that's probably been the hardest part so far. A lot of learning. I have this whole sheet right here that my attending walked through with me, going through pacemakers today. Maybe we'll talk about that in a story time with Shaun at some point. But just a lot of learning, really on when you're there, but it's actually been quite enjoyable. I've really enjoyed all the cardiac anesthesia attendings. The fellows we have been incredible. A lot of them are actually graduating now their fellowship, and we'll get a whole new batch of cardiac anesthesia fellows next week, as well as a whole new batch of CA1s. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. Speaking of new things, this is functionally my last week as a CA1, a PGY2. I become a CA2, PGY3, I think next week. I think the CA1s come in. So, yeah, that was, wow, I totally forgot about that. Crazy. A whole year in San Diego training anesthesia. Down. Just 2 more to go. Hopefully they do go, you know, at least relatively quickly. But yeah, anyway, back to what I was saying. Cardiac anesthesia, really cool, very interesting. I think there's a lot to talk about with it. A lot of interesting things I can share with you guys, and I'm going to try to do that in the best way possible. Sometimes by talking to you about it like this, sometimes maybe with the help of some poorly drawn cartoons. The most important thing is I want you guys to feel like you're getting something out of these vlogs, whether that's some sort of information, enjoyment, entertainment, whatever it is. I just want to share that with you guys. Oh, and another thing, if you watched my Sunday vlogs like you are right now, then you might not have realized that I actually posted a vlog today, this morning, 2 days early, Friday. It was a vlog that was actually supposed to go out last Sunday, but there were some technical difficulties, so it was delayed, but I didn't know when else I could upload it besides this Friday. So make sure you go watch that vlog. That'll be my first week of cardiac anesthesia vlog after you guys are done watching this vlog. And the day before that vlog went out, we actually had another video go up that was in partnership with this cool company, Water Drop, talking about some of the news around dangerous contaminants in water recently. So actually 3 videos this week. So if you're only watching this one, make sure you go back and watch those ones just to watch them, support the channel, all that stuff. It means a lot to me. It really helps the channel grow, especially because we're almost at 100,000 subscribers. I'm so freaking stoked. So with that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.